everybody doing?
Woo!
So, next slide, thank you. My name is Ernie Schramayr. I'm a life coach. I'm a certified personal trainer. I'm a writer, as Kaylee said. If you're interested, Fitness Solutions is going to be sold in the lobby for the rest of the evening, and a portion of the proceeds are going back to tea. So, I'm here to talk to you a little bit tonight about how to always look on the bright side of life. And when you do, how you can become the most positive person in the room. In any room. Now, I just saw Chris Briscoe over here, so I'm pretty sure he's the most positive person in any room he's in. But I'm going to teach you 3 specific strategies that you can use to help you move in that direction if that's not your inclination. And if you're wondering why we're at this philanthropic charitable event, which is about giving back and helping others, you're wondering why I'm going to talk about, something that's helping you as an individual and might even sound a little bit selfish. And the reason is by fostering positivity in ourselves, we also become more attuned to the positive impact we can have on others, like those benefiting from programs like the amazing Tea Therapeutic Life Center and the amazing work that they do.
Woo!
Next slide, please. So this is a picture of my mom. Probably about 1934, 1935, around there. Now, my mother was born in Germany, just outside of Nuremberg, in 1930. And the reason why that's significant in what I'm talking about is that if you're born in Germany in 1930, in Nuremberg, she was living in a country that was on its way to World War II. And when she was 9 years old, World War II broke out. And so through her adolescence, her preteen years, and then up to her teenage years, when it ended in 1945, she was 15 years old. She lived through that time for 6 years of her life, living in bomb shelters, mostly starving, mostly terrified, and the family just trying to survive, just trying to make it. Now, if you knew my mother, she was the most positive person you would ever meet. And I know some of you, like my sister, some of my brother-in-law, some of you have met her before. She's the most positive person you could ever meet. When you hear about people that think about their glass being half full, well, her glass was 3/4 full. That was just how she came out of that situation. And the thing that really drove that home to me was several years later, we were at a restaurant with family. Food wasn't so good, not like here today. Service wasn't good, and people were starting to grumble, and people were starting to get a little bit angry. My mother shut it down right away, and she said, listen, we're not starving, we're not being bombed, everything is all right. Everything is good. So we probably all know somebody like my mom, like I'm describing. We probably also know people to the other direction, in the other way. I used to own a personal training studio, and this is a real story. I remember getting a complaint from a client once that our bathrooms smelled too clean and our windows were too bright. That's an actual complaint. So that's not a glass half full person. Next slide, please. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you 3 specific strategies or skills or tactics that you can use to make yourself the most positive person in the room. Number 1 is that if you want to be like this, it doesn't happen by accident. You have to make a decision. The first thing you have to do is you have to decide that you're going to be that kind of a positive person. And the cool thing is that the word decide comes from Latin, and its root means to cut off, to strike, or to kill something. Just like the words suicide, genocide, infanticide, those sides, that means to kill something. It's a little bit less dramatic, but when you make a decision, what you're doing is you're cutting off or eliminating all other possibilities. So when you make that choice that you're going to be that person, all other possibilities have now been eliminated. And in my practice with my clients and I'm coaching, with life coaching, I have a strategy that I introduce them to. So when you make that decision, you can now declare this is what I'm going to do. But to make it even more powerful, to make it more effective, you make a contract with yourself and you put it in writing. So if you journal, some people like to journal. If you don't journal, take a piece of paper in the morning to write down a question to yourself. Say, how do I want to go out into the world today and how do I want to be? Nobody wants to be that miserable, grumbling, short kind of person. So you answer that question and you literally put it in writing. You say, I want to feel significant. I want to be loved. I want to be loving. I want to be patient. I want to make a difference. When you put those things down in writing, it does something in your brain that sets you on a course of action of seeking out things that can support that. Next slide, please. Number 2 is you should live by a credo. And a credo is a statement of beliefs or aims which guides someone's actions. So if you don't know what a credo is, I'm sure you've heard some of these things. I just put some examples here. Some people live that like life's a party. I'm sure we all have people who say life's a bitch and then, you know, God only gives you what you can handle. Everything happens for a reason. Treat others the way you would like to be treated. My personal credo, the way that I look at life, the good, the bad, the ugly, no matter what comes at you, I really believe that it's all part of the adventure. So the good stuff, the bad stuff, you know, I don't like the bad stuff, but it just adds to that full, meaningful, adventurous life. And then my mom's credo, if you aren't being starved, if you're not starving or being bombed, then everything is all right. So imagine how low that bar is. She went through life, everything was all right. Because she was, after the war ended, she was no longer starving or being bombed. Next slide, please. So the third thing is to recognize the power that questions have on your ability to shift your perspective on the things that happen to you and the things that are happening around you. Does anybody recognize this gentleman up here?
Yes.
The Lord Father. So I'd like to, if I may, I'd like to read a short passage from Fitness Solutions, my book, which is for sale in London. I actually have a chapter in the book called The Power of Perspective. Perspective is the ability to experience something in more ways than one, depending on how you look at it. Being able to keep things in perspective can make the difference in whether you move forward in a positive way or if you simply shut down and give up. And when I mentioned that the way that you can shift your perspective is by using powerful questions, my favorite question to ask is, what is great about this situation? So what's great about this situation? Depending on the situation, that can be pretty hard. It's important to remember, however, that the point in questioning is not to change what is happening, but rather in how you experience and then act upon it. Gord Downie of the Tragically Hep was diagnosed with brain cancer in 2016 and then went on to the most successful concert tour of his career. The publicity from the tour gave him a platform to start a foundation supporting reconciliation efforts between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people in Canada, as well as to raise money for Sunnybrook Hospital, where he was treated. He was honored later that year with an Order of Canada, as well as an honorary title from the Assembly of First Nations. Although he passed away in 2017, Gord Downie's foundations live on and continue to generate significant amounts of money and awareness for his various causes. While he would have easily been forgiven for wasting away in private, he saw the immense opportunity that his illness provided him to enact positive change in the world, and he lived a fulfilling life right to the very end. So perhaps Gord Downie's example is a bit extreme, but consider how you, every one of you, can not only make the best of a situation, but can actually thrive because of the situation. So I want to go back to the first thing I was mentioning earlier today. By fostering positivity in yourself, you become more attuned to the positive impact that you can have on others, like the people who are benefiting from the amazing work that T does. All right, thanks for having me. I hope you guys had a good day today on the golf course. Have a great evening. And I'm going to be selling Fitness Solutions with money going back to T. If you're interested, I'll be out there and I'll sign a copy for you. Have a great night, guys.